Okay, I didn't like just this clamp alone because it's just clamping on the edge too much, so I'm putting a can't twist clamp out here too. So now we are sitting at the corner of that, and we want to move over half of 1/8 because that's the size of spoke that's going to go in there. It's going to go through the center line, and so we need to move over 62.5 thou on X. 62.5. Alright, now we want to take half of 625, 312.5, and we want to move that out. $312.5. Lock that, lock for X, and we should never have to move it. So now we can go ahead and center drill our first hole. And go ahead and center drill the first hole. Hopefully it'll come out right. Roll it there. So in the high range. I center drilled it deep enough to where it's the full diameter of that, of the center drill. So now, the drilling reamer laying here. So we'll drill and get some Earl, some oil. I don't think I pushed those dowels in far enough to where the drill's going to get. But just to be on the safe side, I'll take and knock the top one out. Wrong. There we go. There we go. Should be able to just tap that out. That way I won't hit it. And I'm going to go down until it intersects that hole. Right there. And then ream it. Actually, I want this to be a slip fit 1/8. I want to make sure. Okay, this is an 1/8 inch, so it should be okay. Oh. Okay, first spoke hole done. Only 5 more to go. So, now, take this can't twist clamp off. And I could have probably got by without that. put. And then I got a spring behind the clamp so that it, when I unclamp it, the clamp don't flop around. Okay, so now we're going to move this pin. I might have to knock it out of there too. Okay, we're going to move it over one. And we're going to knock this one out. I could have moved it over one. I guess I could have just rotated it 180. Oh darn it. Oh well, I'll do that on this next one. So, it doesn't matter. So, like this, and we're gonna put this on there. Hold it up against the pins tight. Clamp that. Now, the only reason I'm putting this can't twist clamp on, just in case it were to, move a little bit. Now I'm going to tap that top one out again. I don't want to lose it. There we go. Center drill. Range. I have to number one material, procedural materials. So I think I have enough, so that's probably not order some. So either stock, procedural stock. Okay, just off. I just hold it on the outside, see what we have here. I'll just do this one. Pat this around with the next hole. They're almost a nice little press up it. Not a press. They are subtle. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Hold it tight. Lock it. And twist it. Put this out. Center. Range. I rotate cables to be, clear, for rotate cable. And then bigger, my next dudes who have balls, and I'll just go, put it away in it. There's always, let's say, don't want to waste it. How does it work? I'll see my good thing is, everything can get out, all numbers. I wouldn't. Okay, put this out in. Hopefully I'll click on here, yeah. And this one moves in its hole. Push it there, so snug it back. And snap. Not coming out. Use some special help. You do that, remember. It's going to like I'll do that after one way. Go around. And this will go further. Put it further down. Put it in. We'll inside. Should be over. You'll watch on music, so I'm not. Take this. Take that off there and put it next to the other ones. Before you read that now. So everyone, that's possible. So more time probably because we'll have more grass here and we'll have more yard. So send out the more grass. Push it. Actually, more grass. I don't feel like I push. It's not real more. Push a lot more. Here, up here, there it is here. I have I have a grass. I don't use this one. I have down here. I do more for it. See, under once. I have one valve down here. But I use it for it. I'll talk from here. Not happy with it at all. I don't like the 112. It's the first thing vines are deep. So we hold it division. The new one, I have 305. I bought a brand new filter. I bought it. That thing, this is just went up. Oh, it has been under. Really, it's there. It's strong. Go back to the I'm getting neighbors. I every time, but it's all set. And Other than that, like here, if it's rolling, moves around the front hand, it's actually rolling. It's pretty good. I do that without my just do taking a jack out of the box in the top, so that I shift into I don't know if the times would actually right on backwards. I don't know. I just research that. I'll do that. Fire yourself up. I'll be good. There you go. I don't know. And if I choose back, you're hit back. I think we'd be doing the same thing with the but in reverse, use back instead of forward. I can't do one just like that. I should go just reach on the web. See, I'll get that done. So good one. Last hole. Last time, something out here. And we'll the last one. Where'd it go? Okay, there. Push over. Lock that down. Can't slam. Not enough. And 0. Here's your way. Oh, hold that right here. Chip it over. There we go. Here. No. No. That way. Try to get it out. Put my tools away done because I lost a few. They're on the top right. Put this can't twist clamp away. This is off of there. Knock this pin out. Don't need to leave that in there and then go over to the forge jaw and start boring it out and hit that pin. That's something that I would do. Nobody else would do that, but I would. Alright. Okay, cool. We're in business. So okay, so I need to go put over the lathe and put the forge jaw on, and then we'll dial in this the center hole here. So let's mosey on over to the lathe. I'll set you up way back here a ways, and we'll zoom you back. You can see what I'm doing. I haven't cleaned it up from. So what we're going to do is take the 5C collet chucker out, which is actually pretty simple to do. First thing to do is take the collet out. Down there. Then we go on the back side here, and there's 2 set screws that hold the handle into the bearing, or the tube puller basically. It's the it's hooked onto the tube assembly. I call it tube assembly. Show you. It's this assembly right here. I think the camera shut off. I thought I heard the camera shut off. But it's this assembly right here, and there's a screw goes into here on that handle there, over here, and that pulls that back and locks, pulls the whole tube assembly back, pulls the collet in and locks it in place. And I usually hang that, or put that up right up there. It's been staying there so far. Now, there's a 5C collet adapter here. It has to come out. And you use some soft metal. I got aluminum bar here. You could use brass, whatever. Just don't use steel. And to knock that out of there. Usually one rap will take and knock it out of there. Yeah. Or 2. And that's basically, it's the 5C collet taper in here, and the Morse taper on the outside of it. I put that up here. Now we're ready to put the forge on, but before I do that, make sure I got the taper here all nice and clean. And the forge jaw's down underneath on the cabinet. Oh, baby, that's getting heavier too. And then I just want to wipe it out real good, because that taper is what seats it on there. So you don't get no wobble and no shake. And it's got 3 Camlock D pins, I think they're called. And stick that on there and hold that up in there. Grab the wrench. Snug one up. I don't go all the way right away, I just kind of snug them. And then the third one. Okay, I don't know why the camera shut off on me. But I got the forge jaw on there. I put a 1/4-inch dowel in the drill chuck and hung that on there, put it in there, and I cranked the jaws up till they just touched. So now we're going to put an indicator in here and we're going to dial in that hole. Okay. All right, we're going to go this way first. Indicator on 0. Flip it 180. Should drop down, so this side needs to be tightened. Right. 0. 0. Okay, so this side needs to be tightened. There's 0. 0. Need to tighten up the other side a little bit. 0. 0. 0. Okay, so we're about a half a thou. 0. Okay, 0. And then we're about a thou low. We got a little wiggle and shake in there, or what? There we go. You don't want to tighten them up too tight either, really, because that rim will distort then. I may end up having to loosen it up. All right. We're ready to make some chips. First thing I'll do is drill that out. Step drill it. I'll have to drill it a few times. Let's see if I can go through there with a 1/2 inch right off. Okay. Close this drawer before I run into it. Put some power to it. Let's see, we are at C3. We're at 600 RPM. Be all right. think I dulled my drill. I have to go resharpen. Why, yes I did. Alright, so that was at 600. I'm going to drop it down to 360. This drill might have been dull to start with. Now when I put it away, I'll put it upside, or with the flutes up. That way I know it's dull. And when I'm sharpening drills, I'll sharpen that one. I'll just go one size down. Alright, let's try this again. This is just hot roll steel, so shouldn't have work hardened. Got a little bit of wobble to it, should be falling that hole. You know what? I should have checked that face to make sure. Too late now. Next size. 13/16. I'm going to drop it down a little more. Down 200. This is about the biggest one I have, which is a 32nd under an inch. Put a little oil in that one. think I'm going to stop here and put an indicator on that face, because I think I do see it wiggling. I'd like to have that inside hub run fairly true. I'm not going to mess with it up and down or with tightening or loosening though the jaws. I'm just going to tap the face around. Hopefully I can do that. Punch. Darn it, I should have did that right away. Either that or put it back against the jaw or the chuck itself. Wasn't thinking of it at all there. That's what happens. All right. Get this in neutral. Kill the power. We got 14 thou. So it's 14 thou heavy there. So I gotta knock that side in if I can. I got an aluminum punch here. Oh yeah, it's moving. It moved. A lot closer now. It's only within 5 about. 0. 0. It's within about 3 thou. Right there, this side right here is the highest. I think I'm going to call that good. Now we're going to have to get boring bar up. Boring bar and take lots of cuts. And now, which boring bar shall I use? That's a grooving tool. What would that be looking like? I'll take this big monster here. And let's see, I don't want it that long, sticking out. The more you have it sticking out, the more chattering you're going to get. And I'm going to just go in here and try to eyeball the center. Actually looks good right where it's at. We'll see. Now, let's kick her up to, well, let's try the 600 back. Turn the power on. Little oil in the hole. I'm going to move this drawing so I can see I have my power feed right there. Nothing on my power feed. That was a pretty good cut. That was about 100 and some thou. Let's try another 100. Gonna have to make a few cuts. You can see where I gotta go, the holes for making the vertical line there. You gotta go out, just clean up those holes. Let's try 120, 140. It'll be 140 thou cut. Down trying to grab my pants. That was 140, a little smoky. Oil burning. That's because these chips stacked up. This long chip was down underneath the carriage trying to grab me by the pants. Not a good thing. Alright, so there's 140 again. 20 bars. Not pretty nice, really. I can't tell you the tip load because I did a modification of my lathe, so I have a power feed up there that I can, it's infinite. I'm not using the gearbox. I need to get pliers here. Oh, I do have it right here. I don't like handling these chips. These aren't so bad. These are hot rolled steel, but boy, stainless, you do not want to do this. Stainless, you'll end up with cut fingers for sure. And then they come off with sharp edges, razor sharp edges. And these are, you still don't really want to mess with them too much. I'm going to dial back a little bit. I'm just going to go 100 now. Maybe kick the feet up a little bit. There we go. I was hoping to get a chip break. Flying now. That's what I was looking for. Cranked it up to about 30% of my feed rate. And I'll show you what I have it right here. And when I turn the spindle on, and then I can crank it up and down to whatever feed rate I want. And I had it set about 30. And what I did was I put a motor down here at the end. It's a high torque motor and a big pulley and a belt. So I can actually run the gearbox and it's not going to hurt anything. It'll just turn that motor faster. But